Welcome to my Lunch and Learn, where each and every weeks I explore topics to help you elevate your mindset, be at your best, and radically expand your life and business. And for the last couple months, we have been talking about money. And I think this is a really cool topic because money has so many different aspects that until you actually start diving into, you don't know how fun, how playful, how joyful, how exciting it really can be. And my mission over these last couple of months has been to truly normalize the conversation about money and get women, especially women, really comfortable talking about it, hearing about it, and interacting with it. So, we're going to be talking today about your wealth identity, what that actually is, and how you can build and enhance yours in 3 simple steps. So, if you are a high achiever, a high achieving woman who has done pretty well for herself, but you know you could be doing better financially and in other aspects of life, maybe you've taken some advice and you followed it, but you see others thriving, and deep down you're like, I know I want more. I know I can do better. I know I'm holding myself back. If that looks like you, today is for you because we're going to change all that. And I know that some of you know me, some of you don't. I'm Larisa McCooch, Master Results Coach and CEO of Abundance Academy, where we help professional women whose external results tell the world they're successful, but on the inside, they know they're destined for more. And I help them stop holding themselves back and truly go after their dreams so they can love themselves in their heart and soul, love their business, and totally be passionate about it and create magic in their lives. So I'd love to know where you're coming in from. If you're coming in by replay, type in replay in the chat. And if it's your first time here, type in first time in the chat because I truly do appreciate you and your presence. So when it really comes to this topic of money identity, I think this is something I was thinking about as I was preparing for this talk, for this lunch and learn. And I was thinking about so many of my different money identities. And I think we've all had our own fair share in our lives. But I remember a time. I was probably 18, 19 years old, something like that, long, long time ago. And I was traveling from Baltimore back home. Okay, we were in Baltimore for New Year's, and somehow we got an 8 a.m. flight on New Year's Day. Okay, I don't know about you, but there's not a lot of people at the airport at 8 a.m. for an international flight at 5 in the morning. Okay, we were flying out at 8. And so it was pretty quiet, but it was really cool. And we were flying. Great. My partner at the time, he was one of these super charismatic people, and he's like, what do you want to eat? We didn't have breakfast at the time. So I'm like, I don't know, go find something because the kiosks at the airport, they have some things, they didn't have other things. And especially on a day like that, it was it was pretty slim pickings. So he came back with a tin of cookies. You know those Purine cookies where they're swirly, those long ones that have chocolate inside. I think it's like hazelnut chocolate. They were pretty good. And so we ate some, and we just couldn't eat a whole container of cookies for breakfast. And we knew we'd get food on the plane. And so this is before you had to buy your meals because it was 20 years ago. So he ended up just going up to the stewardess or going up to the people that worked at the airport that were behind the desk, and he offered them cookies. And she's like, oh my gosh, that's so kind, thank you. And she's like, give me your ticket and I'm going to bump you up to first class. And so he's like, well, I'm traveling with my girlfriend. And she's like, go get her ticket too. I'm going to bump you guys both up. We have extra seats on the plane. And I remember this was really a neat opportunity. And we were just like, wow, this is so cool. And I remember we thought it was really neat. However, when I was on that flight, I really felt out of place, right? I felt like I didn't belong. And this was a truly once in a lifetime miracle and once in a lifetime opportunity, right? Really cool to experience this stuff. Yet there was this feeling of being out of place. And I don't know if you've ever felt out of place. It's like, even if the circumstances are aligning, even if opportunities are shining on you, something inside doesn't feel like you could be there or you should be there or this is real. Okay. It was so surreal. And Flash forward many years, I've taken a couple other first class flights since then, but there was one I purchased on the way to LA several years ago. And this is a first class flight I purchased on the way to a conference. I was going to two conferences. I'm like, people always talk about these luxurious first class flights, especially when they're long. And I was going to be flying for like 5 hours from Toronto to LA. And so I remember purchasing this flight was scary because I paid for it and it was a bigger ticket. I could buy several flights for that same price. Something in my heart was calling me to do it. And I was really open to that opportunity in the moment. And the first class lounge was absolutely beautiful and delightful. I got to go in all the express lines. Like I didn't have to wait at the airport. There was people waiting in many lines and I just zipped right through it. It was so incredible. And at this point, I'd done some work on myself. And so I was really open and receptive to this experience. And it was a very different energy than before. Okay. I remember when I got on the plane, I saw the seat. I was like, wow, this is really comfortable. Let me see. It wasn't just like the two seats and the two seats. It was a big flight. So I was in my own pod. I have my own little TV. The bed, the seat, totally reclined. There was a sheet to put on it so you could go to sleep, a beautiful blanket. We got meals. You get real cutlery when you sit in first class. The stewardess, they know your name. They call you by your first name or by your last name. They ask you what you would like to be addressed as. And it was just this entirely luxurious experience that previously, even if I wouldn't have been open to. And yet here I was, open and receptive to this beautiful opportunity. And so I had another flight booked to go meet my family in Edmonton. So I'm just country hopping at this point. After the series of conferences, I had another flight booked, but I just had a regular flight booked because I wanted to be in good spirit getting to the conference. But I was like, might as well save money on the way out. And I remember at the conference, I was just like, no, what am I doing? I've just elevated myself to this state. And so I upgraded my flight to another first class flight. And I remember going to the airport and feeling totally at ease. I felt totally aligned and like I absolutely belong there. And it was a very different energy because in that moment, I realized I couldn't go back to where I used to be. And I don't know if you've ever experienced this where you've grown into a certain role or taken on a certain energy. And it's really hard to go backwards once you've tasted something really, really, really beautiful. So let me know if you can relate to any of this. Okay. So, why am I telling you this? Well, we all have an identity when it comes to money. And your identity is one of your greatest paradigms. It's one of your greatest belief systems. And this identity, it either keeps you stuck or it allows you to soar. And so I ask yourself, do you want to feel at ease and be totally comfortable when it comes to your relationship with money? Yes or no? Sounds pretty good to me. Do you want to to hold conversations and confidently hold conversations about money? Money that you earn, money that you save, money that you grow, spend, give, and invest. And actually get your questions answered along the way so you feel intelligent. Would you love to see your financial situation just soar to new heights like it's never been before? Because that's exactly what today is all about. That's what this topic is all about. Your identity to money and what you would need it to be in order to help you achieve the levels of success you actually desire. So there's a term I want to present to you. Okay? So when it comes to identity, we can have behaviors. Okay? So behaviors are things that you do. These are practices that you practice. They become habitual behaviors when you do them on a regular basis. Now, the term self image is actually something that's referring to your identity and the identity you hold. And people with different self images have different behaviors that they practice. However, what's really cool about the self image is truly how you perceive yourself to be. The image you hold of yourself is how you walk, how you talk, how you act, how you show up for the world. It's also one thing that helps you dictate how much money you earn, what you feel you're worth, whether you show up or half-ass it. Your self-image is going to dictate so many things in your life that ultimately directly lead to your results. And so you can go off and change behaviors. And we absolutely do. We need to have certain habits and behaviors. However, what's even going to have a greater impact on your results is your self-image, how you perceive yourself to be. Because if you have a good self-image, you're going to get good results. If you have a bad self-image, you're going to get bad results. If you have an exceptional self-image, what do you think you're going to get? You're going to have those kinds of exceptional results, and you are going to start magnetizing and attracting to you. So, just want to share, I don't know if you guys have heard of this book, but this is Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. This is a nice vegan leather copy of it. They also have other ones available on Amazon. It's a white book with red writing. I like this because it's pretty fancy looking and makes me happy. So, Maxwell Maltz was a plastic surgeon back in the 1960s. And he used to perform plastic surgery on people. And he realized that some people achieved radical results after their plastic surgery and others didn't. And this led him to postulate that you have two images. You have an image on the inside and an image on the outside that you project to the world. And you can change the outer image, but if the inner image doesn't change along with it, then you're not going to feel well. It's not going to really make a big difference in the grand scheme of your results and how you perceive yourself to be. And in his book, he writes, the self-image is the key to human personality and human behavior. Change the self-image, and you change the personality and the behavior. But more than this, self-image sets the boundaries of individual accomplishment. It defines what you can and cannot do. Expand the self-image and you expand the area of possible, right? This is so cool. Expand the self-image and you expand the area of the possible. So when you expand your self-image, you actually expand what's possible for you. It's got a very expansive effect. The development of an adequate, realistic self-image will seem to imbue the individual with new capabilities, new talents, and literally turn failure into success. Now, I don't know about you, but that's really powerful to me. So, what you need to know is you have a self-image in relation to many aspects of your life. You have a self-image when it comes to your work. You have a self-image when it comes to relationships. You have a self-image when it comes to you being a parent or anyone in your personal life. You have a self-image when it comes to health, right? Your weight, your physical health and well-being, that is going to be dictated by your personal self-image and how you view yourself. You also have a self-image when it comes to wealth, right? Part of your self-image, there is a wealth construct in this. And it's one of the greatest things that controls your wealth. It's how you see yourself. And this all happens in the depths of your unconscious mind. So consciously, your conscious thinking mind controls about 5% of your results. Your unconscious mind, I refer to as the heart, controls about 95% of your results. And so the unconscious is in every single cell and molecule of your body. And it goes there through neurotransmitter, and it literally is expressed from head to toe. And so if you have the best strategy, but the worst self-image, you're not going to get exceptionally successful. You're going to do something to sabotage yourself because you're going to match your self-image. It sets the boundaries, the upper limit of your accomplishments. However, you can have an okay strategy and an exceptional self-image and truly start to soar. So what you need, there are three things that I want you to really look at when it comes to you boosting your wealth identity, your image of yourself in terms of wealth. So there's three steps. Okay. First of all, you've got to actually recognize what it is. Like, how do you see yourself? How do you talk about money? How do you interact with money? What kinds of decisions do you make? Right? I recently spoke to someone and she's like, I earn good money, but I felt guilty. I felt so guilty paying $16 for parking. And I automatically started complaining about paying $16 for parking. And she's like, I mean, in theory, I could afford it. I, I was beside myself and I had to complain about it. Why did she have to complain? Because her image told her she has to complain about something she's uncomfortable with instead of simply accepting it. Versus the friend she was with, she's like, okay, we paid 16 bucks for parking. Now let's go here. Let's go enjoy this experience. She was truly in the moment and her image was, it's only money. I can go earn more back. Her image was really healthy in relation to money versus this other person's. And so you want to start looking like what comes out of your mouth is so incredibly powerful. So start paying attention to it. It's going to dictate where your paradigms are set. You can recognize it through your results. How much money do you actually earn? How much money what's your net worth? What's your liquidity like? And so when it comes to truly recognizing your self-image, you got to take a little time to do this. And it's a temperature check. There's no judgment because it is what it is. However, when you recognize it, you can do something about it. Okay, so step one is decide to recognize your self-image. Step two, decide what you actually want it to be. Who do you really need to be to get there? And you want to start thinking about like who are some of you may have some ideas of who you need to be. Okay, you think about the mindset you would need. Okay, when it comes to who you need to be, what kind of mindset would you have? What kinds of standards would you have for yourself? How would you talk about money? How would you spend money? Would you spend money joyfully? Or would you be spending money in scarcity, feeling guilty? How much do you save your money? Or do you just spend it all? Or do you hoard it all? Right? What are some of your money habits? What would your money habits be? What would be a good, healthy ratio of how you spend, how you make decisions to invest, and how you make decisions to save, right? What would that actual healthy ratio be for you? What kinds of attitudes would you have? What kinds of growth opportunities would you take part in? How would you learn about money? How often would you be reviewing your money? Okay? And so these things are habits of someone with good healthy relationships with money. How would that person dress? How would they walk, talk and act? And when you really start creating a picture, it's almost like you can create your own character in a movie. When you create your wealth character, that's who you can step into, but you've got to design this person. Now, if you have great examples of people around you that have taught you this, awesome. This is probably an easy exercise. What I've realized is most people don't. Most people have not given this 5 minutes of thought, and they don't actually have money mentors that they're surrounded with. Okay. And it's really important. I think some of the most successful people in the world, they have mentors. And when it comes to the area of money, if you have a good image of money, you are surrounded by people that influence you in terms of your money. And so, who are some of these top people that do influence you? This is something we cover in the Abundance Accelerator program with our self-image intensive. This is something that we talk about in our Unstoppable You workshop. When it comes to day 3, becoming the unstoppable you, you literally identify some people that you know, either in person or maybe you've heard of, and you look at their characteristics. And you're never going to become all of these people, but you're going to find certain things that are in common or certain things that stand out about each of these people that you really like. And in this case, do it in relationship to money. And I want you to identify 6 people that can influence you and look at those characteristics that they express that you would like to embody. That's who you need to be to get to where you want to go. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It really, truly is. I have to say, I've been truly blessed to be able to work with so many incredible mentors. And sometimes we plant these seeds long ago. And I was just on a call this morning. I've been on calls with two of my mentors this morning so far. So I was on a call with one of my mentors, and she said, sometimes you just have these thought seeds and they get expressed and they come to you and they manifest in ways that you completely don't expect. Yet, when you expect your life to work out how it is and even better, it always does, because sometimes you can't even predict the beauty that is standing and ready for you. It's available for you on a silver platter. And so begin to expect abundance, begin to expect the best to flow to you. And that's something I've truly done with all the mentors in my personal life in all aspects. I also had another call with another business mentor of mine, and he's been so incredibly generous. He's got a brilliant and creative mind. He goes into these caves and comes up with these ideas that are so unique, and it creates magic for me, for him, for everyone that gets to benefit. And I feel truly, truly blessed. I even next week I'm holding a masterclass, and I jokingly said, I'm like, hey, come again to my masterclass and come check it out. So maybe he'll be there. We'll see if he takes me up for the challenge. But I think that when you truly create magic for yourself, for others, and with others, and you allow yourself to be influenced by mentors either directly or indirectly, then things work out really, really well. Okay. But you've got to make the decision to what you actually want that to look like and open it up to being something even better. Who do you want to be? This or something better? Step 3, commit and take action. Insight without action is worthless, and you've got to get up and take action. And when you start taking one step and then the next step and then the next step, you're going to start building momentum, and you're going to be running, 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 and moving in the direction of your dreams faster than you ever imagined. But it takes that first step. And then after that first step, you actually have the momentum to take another step, and it gets really uncomfortable to stop. And you do want to keep going. You do want to keep soaring. You do want to keep spreading your wings. So, the 3 steps, just to recap, are: recognize what your current identity is, decide what you want it to be and who you need to be to get there. And step 3, commit and take action. Now, the key, again, all nice and dandy, but the key is to actually decide and make a decision to upgrade your wealth image. And I want to know, let me know in the chat, whether you're live or by replay, is upgrading your wealth image something you truly want to do? Is this something you're actually up for? Because if so, I have a tremendous opportunity for you, because next week I am hosting one of my Master Your Money Mindset master classes. It is absolutely free, but it's going to help you escape the scarcity mentality, really recognize what's actually coming out of your mouth, what's spinning inside your head, and so you can make a decision to stop it, so you can launch yourself into financial abundance. So if you're interested in attending, I would love to invite you there. I'm going to just pop a link in the chat here. I know on some of our channels it'll show up, on others we will make sure to add it later. However, we've held several of these master classes. We've got one on March 22nd, Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, and on April 1st at 10 a.m. So we've got 2 more opportunities for you. And we're going to cover the truths and what your money truths are and why they're a lie. Why so much of what you've been trying to do right is actually not working, and how you can change that. We're going to really look at where your money programs came from and how you can start shifting them now, and take a look at the economy, right? And why the economy is actually an illusion, and what you can do to thrive in any economy, regardless of what the TV and the markets are saying. So if you are a professional, high achieving woman ready for her next level of success, and you want to earn more, you want to feel good about the money you have, you want to really start to love money and love yourself, and not in a selfish way, and just like a beautiful, wholesome way, I want you to join me, because it really is about having a healthy relationship with money. So go ahead and get registered now. It is going to be absolutely epic. And more people join, perhaps I can really persuade that mentor to come. I have a feeling that he might show up because he's awesome. But it would be really a true gift for you to be able to meet someone of this caliber. So get yourself registered today. I'd love to see you there. Now, I know that when I was totally at ease, right? When I was on that first class flight and I was totally at ease, I was able to, right before I got on that plane, right? I was able to meet someone in that lounge. And because I was like, I feel like I had this energy, this vibe, and I was in a totally different spirit than I normally am at the airport, just waiting for a flight. Someone saw my first class ticket and we got into a great business discussion and a potential business opportunity simply because of my ticket and because I was in this easy, attractive mode. You never know where opportunities can happen. However, when you are in this ease, they come to you. You don't have to go chasing them. And when I was really open, right, after that flight to LA, when I was in LA, I was able to train with one of my mentors there, and it was absolutely mind-blowing. And I had an experience there that literally fueled me for 2 or 3 years after that. It's fueled me till today. It still keeps fueling me. And my receptiveness and my openness and willingness to listen to information was able to help me shift my self-image and my personal standards and be able to continue to work with high-level mentors that influence me, that continue to stretch me to grow and grow and grow. And that makes me feel really good. I don't have those same types of paradigms I used to. I'm in a much greater state of ease right now. And that very first time, 20 or more years ago, more than 20 years ago, uh, where we got bumped up and I felt really out of place. I did learn the power of miracles and how intentional they really are. Because in that moment, I thought it was just this leap of faith. However, since that moment, I have started to recognize miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle. Just like Steve Jobs says, it's easy to connect the dots looking backwards. You can't connect them looking forwards. And I was trying to connect all the dots and it didn't work. However, I went from that that place, that place of skepticism, of being at a place, to truly being at ease and expecting miracles in my life. And I expect miracles to happen each and every day. And so I would love to invite you to have a miracle, to experience a miracle with me, to experience a miracle with my community and those I love most with our Master Your Money Mindset Masterclass. It is going to be beautiful, delightful, and an epic experience. Everyone that's come has had tremendous feedback and some pretty big breakthroughs. So it is an opportunity for you to elevate yourself to your next level of success. So I can't wait to see you there. I will be back again next week with another money topic because that is, oh, I will not be back next week. I'll be back in 2 weeks. Next week, we're holding the masterclass. So don't join me here. Join me in the masterclass. We're on Zoom. But I'll be back in 2 weeks with another incredible topic. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you again soon.